Hi, it's Tom from Thoughtism. Thank you very much for joining me on this video series. In this video series, we are going to be focusing on some fundamental principles that you need to understand in order to create the life that you desire. I've been a student and teacher of self-improvement and self-development for more than 30 years. Over that period of time, I've tried just about anything out there, anything I could get my hands on. I've tried visualization, meditation, motivation, changing my vibration, the law of attraction, hypnosis, trying to unblock my subconscious blocks. The list goes on and on and on. And although all of those teachings did help me to improve my life, none of them really catapulted me to the exponential growth I was truly seeking to gain. And worse than that, a lot of them had large gaping holes in their teachings and logic, and many of them even contradicted themselves. So I kept looking, kept pursuing, kept learning, kept ingesting. If there's a book or an audio or a video or a seminar or a guru out there, chances are I've been to it, I've ingested it, and I've tried it. And over the years, through working with thousands of people, helping them to improve my lives, I was constantly chasing the answers to those glaring holes and those contradictions. And it was by finding those that I unlocked some keys to exponential growth that have helped me and now many others attain great success in many areas of their life, be it relationships, building a business, increasing their finances, their health, their social circle, whatever they want to achieve. These teachings have been applied to it, and they have catapulted them to exponential growth. Today, I'd like to discuss a teaching that's extremely popular. Unfortunately, it causes a lot of frustration in people, and it actually holds most people back from truly getting what they really desire, because unfortunately, it is almost always taught incorrectly and without the proper depth of understanding necessary for it to be applied properly. And this teaching is that you just have to feel good to get what you want. People will tell you all the time that all you need to do is think about what you want and feel good about it, and then it'll be delivered to you. Well, that's not true. First of all, you will have to take some action to get what you want. I'll tell you that now. Second of all, feeling good is not a technique in and of itself in order to get what you want. Feeling good is a gauge or a compass that tells you if the other techniques that you are applying are being focused correctly or not. Now, this is a major difference. And I don't know if you play golf or not, but I want to use the game of golf as an analogy to explain this to you. Telling someone to feel good to get what they want is exactly like telling them to shoot the golf ball straighter. Well, shooting the golf ball straighter isn't a technique. Shooting a golf ball straighter is the result of proper technique. If you just stand there and swing and don't know anything about a swing and keep swinging back and forth, and all you're trying to do is focus on getting it straighter, getting it straighter, getting it straighter, it's not going to happen. It may happen once in a while by fluke, but there's going to be no consistency. You're not going to be able to repeat it, and you're just going to get more and more and more and more frustrated, because you're not focusing on and don't understand the actual techniques involved to actually hit the golf ball straighter. Now, if instead of being taught just to hit the golf ball straighter, you are taught the fundamentals of proper technique, your stance, your knees, your hips, your back, your head, your swing, your grip, your club, all of that, and how that affects your shot, well then when your shot isn't straight, which is the result you're looking for, you know what to correct on your technique in order to hit it straighter. And this is how proper teachings help you to improve and improve and improve your shot. It's the feedback from the results of the shot that tells you what you have to correct in your technique in order to refine things and improve your technique in order to get the result you want, which is a straight shot. Now, feeling good about what you want isn't a technique. It's like the shot. It's the end result. If you're using the proper techniques and focus of your mental and emotional and physical efforts, then feeling good about your goal or what you want will spring up naturally within you. And this is why feeling good is actually important to achieve what you want. It's not going out there and thinking of something and forcing yourself to feel good about it. It's using the proper mental, emotional, and physical focus and techniques on what you want. And if you're doing that, and the more closely to that you're getting, the more the passionate, natural, positive feelings about the goal will well up inside you. Now, unfortunately, when people are taught just to feel good about what they want, and as if that's the technique instead of the end result of good and proper mental, emotional, and physical technique, then what happens is they get frustrated. And that brings up negative feelings within them. Also, they're probably trying these things for the first time, and negative emotions are going to come up, like doubt, fear, insecurity. All those negative emotions are going to come up. That is natural. It's part of the process. Unfortunately, because people are focusing on feeling good as if it's the technique instead of the end result, what they do is they push those negative emotions down or try and pretend they're not there and just force themselves to feel good about something when in actuality they're not. Well, if you're just pushing down negative feelings, they're still there. They're still active, and you know it. You feel it when you're walking around throughout the day, when you're sleeping. They're there haunting you, and you're trying to pretend that you're actually feeling good when you're not, and you're trying to suppress them. Well, unfortunately, they're still there. A pile of poop, if you wrap it up in pretty wrapping paper with a bow, it's still a pile of poop. This thin veil of positive emotions people try and force on top of their actual negative emotions are ineffective. They don't do anything, and they just lead to frustration, and this is a downward spiral that prevents people from getting what they want. So there are two things that we want to focus on when it comes to our emotions. Number one, we want to focus on generating the most natural, positive, passionate emotions about our goal that we can. And number two is that when negative feelings come up, we don't want to push them away. We don't want to suppress them. They have a lot of power, and they actually bring power to us a lot more naturally than positive emotions do. There's a lot of power in them, and we want to leverage that and use it to our benefit to get what we want. We don't want to push it away and suppress it. We want to use it when it comes up. So how do we generate natural, positive emotions about our goal? Well, I can and have talked for 8 hours on that singular topic. A lot to it. But to start you off on the right foot, there are two major things you can do. You can change your perspective on the goal, and you can change your point in the timeline of the goal. For changing your perspective on the goal, you can look at the same goal from many different vantage points and from many different angles. As an example of this, let's say your goal, as it is with many people, is to increase your income. Well, you can think about that from many different perspectives. You can think of increasing your income. You can think of looking at a growing bank balance. You can think of delivering so much value to the world that people are dying to pay you for your products or services. You can think about starting your own business. You can think about winning the lottery. You can think about getting a promotion at work. And those are all different perspectives from which you can look at the same goal, which is increasing your income. Now, if you go through these and keep thinking about them, you'll find that some resonate with you more strongly than others. You think about getting a promotion at work, doesn't really excite me. Starting my own business, maybe a little bit. Winning the lottery, I've got some doubt there. Putting a valuable product and service out in the market that people are happy with, and I'm bringing them value and they're happy to pay me for that, that makes me feel really good right now. Okay, you look at these different perspectives on your goal and you find the ones that resonate with you better. And the more you practice this, the more you refine what it is you actually want in your life and what you actually want to do. Now, what resonates with you strongly about a particular goal may change from day to day. We're very complex. We're always changing. We're always shifting. That's how nature is. So maybe today, the thought and the vision of putting value out into the market and people being really happy with that and more than glad to give you money for that really resonates strongly with you. and maybe tomorrow I try and think of that same thing and I'm not really feeling it. What you do not do is try and force good feelings upon that. That's a no-no. What you do is look at all the different perspectives, maybe think of some new ones, and maybe today, watching that bank account grow really resonates with me. Well, that's great. That's good. You're still generating good feelings about the same goal, which is increasing your income. Just the perspective or angle has changed, and it will change day to day. It can even change at different times throughout the same day. So when that happens, not if, when that happens, just keep changing your perspective. Now, the second way I mentioned to generate natural positive emotions in yourself about attaining a goal or something you desire is to shift along the timeline. This is also very important because sometimes thinking about attaining too much at any one time can be overwhelming, especially in the beginning. And sometimes thinking about attaining too little just doesn't do it for you. It doesn't generate those positive, joyous, wonderful emotions that we're seeking to generate through proper focus. So you look at different points along the timeline of your goal, and just like different perspectives, different points along the timeline will resonate stronger with you on different days and different times of the day. So you keep playing with it. You keep tweaking it. You keep popping along the timeline. So as an example of this, let's say you want your dream house. Well, there are tons of points along the timelines that you could be thinking of to try and generate positive emotions within yourself naturally. You could be looking at listings, finding the house of your dream, touring houses, meeting with your real estate agent, getting the mortgage approved, or paying for it cash, even better. You could be getting the keys from the real estate agent. You could be signing the contract. You could be opening the door for the first time. You could be walking in. You could be redecorating. You could be remodeling. You could be have it furnished the way you want it. You could be having friends over to entertain. Your kids could be growing up in it. You could be retiring in it. You could be buying your next house after that or some investment properties. Tons of points along the timeline for that one singular goal of getting the house of your dreams. So play with those two things. Play with them day to day. Play with them throughout the day. It should be fun. It shouldn't be an exercise. Number one, do not force your emotions upon it. Doesn't work. You have to find things that naturally generate those positive emotions within you. So play with different perspectives on your goal and play with different points along the timeline of your goal and see what generates better emotions for you at different times of the day and on different days. It will vary. So the other thing I mentioned in this video is that when you're trying to attain a goal, especially when you're starting out, especially when you're learning something new, you are going to feel negative emotions. They're going to come up. Doubt, fear, uncertainty, insecurities, all that stuff, anger, frustration. And what I mentioned is we don't push those away. We don't try and suppress them. They are very powerful, and we use those and refocus that energy on what we want. Now that is exactly the topic we're going to be covering in the next video in this series. So please watch for it. It's going to be out in just a couple of days. Watch your email. When that comes out, it's very, very powerful stuff. I hope you enjoyed this first video in this series. Please leave all your comments and questions in the spaces below on this blog page. You can also use this email address to send me questions. I'm going to respond to everybody. Please let me know what your goals are. What are you trying to attain? And what other questions do you have about achieving that? As an added bonus, there's a link beneath this window that will enable you to get a free 20-minute audio course on effective appreciation. Appreciation is an extremely popular teaching. Unfortunately, just like feeling good, it is nearly always taught incorrectly. This free audio will clear that all up for you and enable you to use appreciation as an effective change agent in your life. All you have to do is click the link below. It'll bring you to a page where you can register with an email. We'll never spam you. We'll never sell or lend or give away your email address. Don't worry about any of that. But what it will do is it will register you and send you your unique links that will enable you to post a little blip about this on social media. It tracks it. You post 4 times about this video, you just saw and got great value out of. Post that 4 times on various social media, and we will automatically email you a special code where you can get the 20-minute effective appreciation audio for free, digital download. That's all you have to do. Click on the link below and get started. Thank you once again for joining me on this video. It's Tom from Thoughtism. Please watch out for the next video in the series. It'll be out in just a couple of days. And as always, remain at choice. I've got to go work on my swing.